Adventure Racing. What's going on YouTube? My name's Alex, this is As the Cheese Gaming. I am on a quest to review every single racing game for the Nintendo 64. In this week's review, I'm going to take a look at Beatle Adventure Racing. And I want to say right out of the gate, this game is absolutely one that's a must-own and must-worth picking up and adding to your collection today. It's arguably one of the top 5 best racing games on the Nintendo 64. It had a North American release date of February 28th, 1999. It was developed by Paradigm Entertainment, published by EA, and was only released for the Nintendo 64. Beatle Adventure Racing is a classic arcade-style racing game where you race Volkswagen Beetles around a whole slew of tracks, and I just want to say right out of the gate that these tracks are huge. If there's any negative about Beatle Adventure Racing, it's honestly just in the lack of cars. I mean, after all, you're facing, Volkswagen Beetles, so it's not like Mario or a game like Scars, or even, Cruis'n USA, where you have a whole slew of cars you can choose from. But honestly, I find this game still to be worthwhile. Now, one of the strengths of Beatle Adventure Racing is, like I said before, these courses are just massive. And almost every single course that you play in is a whole bunch of secret areas, so it'll keep you coming back over and over again. Next, and probably one of the greatest strengths of Beatle Adventure Racing, is whereas a lot of the racing games that I've reviewed for lately, they have that awful, fog in the background. It's not really prevalent with Beatle Adventure Racing, but what is prevalent, however, is just the sheer level of, detail of, the courses and the backgrounds. Everything just looks so bright and colorful. I mean, just look at this right now. You got the hills in the background, you got all these trees and the course. You look like you're driving through lush forest of some kind. I mean, this is just fantastic. How many other games have this? If you could think of one, please feel free to comment down below. You don't see these kind of things in Mario Kart. Now, don't get me wrong, Beatle Adventure Racing is by no means as good as Mario Kart, but still, just saying that for, purpose of just how good these backgrounds are. Next, I want to touch on this game's other strength, which is its crisp controls. Whether you're picking this one up for the first time, or you become somewhat, accustomed to it, you'll definitely find them, quite quick and responsive. There's no input delay or anything in the controls. There's not a lot to them, because obviously you're just racing, Volkswagen Beetles. So, one button for your e-brake, one for the gas, help you drift and stuff like that. But I never felt like I was having a lot of trouble trying to drift around turns, like in the last game which I reviewed, being, Monster Truck Madness 64. God, I hate that game. Anyway. Now, moving right along with this review, I do also want to touch on this game's, music and sound effects, which I won't say that the soundtrack blows me away, but there are times when I'm playing this one where I just kind of, zone out and just enjoy the tunes of the game and just the sound of the engine, especially if I'm just playing by myself in the time trial mode. I actually find myself just turning it up and just enjoying this game's soundtrack and just kind of, going along with the tunes, so nothing to complain about here. Now, finally, to close out the review, is Beatle Adventure Racing worth picking up and playing today? Well, as I said to start this review, absolutely is worth it. I would argue it's even one of the top 5 best Nintendo 64 racing games on the console. Maybe, just maybe, it's like a, top 25, top 30 game on the console. Maybe you could argue that, but that's a separate video for a different day. But if you enjoy racing games, or especially arcade-style racers, Beatle Adventure Racing is definitely one that you should have in your collection. I would even place this one higher than a game, say, Ridge Racer 64, or the Cruis'n USA or Cruis'n World Series personally. Just because of its, smooth controls, huge levels and backgrounds, all the shortcuts to try to find. So, thanks for watching, everybody. If you have a game that I've talked about before that you want to see me revisit, feel free to comment down below. Speaking of a shortcut, like I was mentioning before, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.